So we're in Fresno, California. We're getting ready to install a toilet here. Existing flange. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. You can see, that's over spray either from, paint or texture or anything. It's stuck to the flange. You can see the red powder coating on it. This was probably installed when they put tile floors in. Original to the home probably was lino or something like that. But I can tell because the bolts are fairly new. So we're not going to replace those. Those are brand new bolts installed. You can see how shiny and good they are. We're not going to mess with that. So just a couple new wax rings, and we're going to set this toilet and tighten it down, and we'll take another video when we're done. So we're still here in Fresno, California. We just finished installing a toilet. This is an American Standard Champion 4, straight out of Home Depot. It's all in one kit, soft close seat, elongated, and comfort height. And they're $199 on sale, so that's a great value. An American Standard's leading manufacturer, so shouldn't have any trouble with this. The only thing that I can say about this toilet, the flushing mechanism, the first couple times we flushed it, we went to activate it, and the flapper shut back down before the water dumped, so the bowl didn't drain. I don't like that. I think it should, regardless, it should work right out of the box. So I can see it's overfilling a little bit, so we're going to adjust this float just a little bit and back that off so that it fills correctly. But it is flushing, so originally a homeowner contacted us and they had dropped something down in the bowl, and they couldn't get it out. So we pop that old toilet out, put the new one in. First part of the video shows the flange, and it also shows the brass bolts that were fairly new. I would imagine when they put the floor in is when they replaced the bolts and put the toilet in. And so now, brand new toilet working. So we gave you a new shutoff valve, a new supply line, and then we got it caulked back in for you. We do leave the backside open. In the event you already get water leaking around the floor, it's got a place to escape, so it doesn't sit down there and just drain down into your floor cavity and then come through your drywall up in the ceiling downstairs. So just around the back, we leave it open in the event of something going on with water down below. So we're going to adjust this a little bit. The way we want to do this is just pull this up, drain a little bit of water, and then activate the float. Let it refill real quick. We're trying to get it about a half inch, quarter to a half inch below the top of this fill tube, and we want it to shut off. Before it was filling right to the very top, and so just a little too much. So that's not bad. It's still overfilling just a little bit. We could back it down just a little bit more and test it just to see. So we're going to just pull the chain up a little bit to activate the float. That's just the way to do it. Otherwise, you get, if you flush it, then you got to wait for it to refill, and it just takes a little more time. So you can see that, guys, filling up, and it should drop down to about a half inch below. That's where you want it, and then it's just a hard shut off, and you're done. So it is filling correctly, shutting off correctly, and let's see if it flushes. I'm just going to hit the trigger like normal people would, and it did flush, but I'm just not real thrilled with that. We didn't pick the toilet out. The homeowner directed us to purchase this one. We sent them a confirmation text. They said, yep, that's the toilet. They have, I think, 2 others in their home. They're very pleased with them, so they're familiar with the toilet. I don't like that flush, though, honestly, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's no adjustment in the chain that we can play with. It's just there's pressure downward on that flush assembly. It just pushes the flapper right back in place and doesn't dump enough water. So we like to set colder. We talked to the homeowner about it, but they wanted the American Standard. And so as long as it works, like I say, if you flush this and it doesn't flush, there's no adjustment I can do for you. So it's installed correctly. I guess what I'm trying to say is the only other thing you could do, and it's a pain, if you hit it and it starts to flush but you don't hear the water dump out of the bowl, you'll have to hold this handle down. You'll have to wait for it to refill like it's doing right now, which takes you, 15-20 seconds, so you have to be patient. And then as soon as it fills again, when you activate this, you will have to push it down and hold it down. And so, like I say, that's not our warranty. We've installed it correctly, and it's got it shimmed. This is nice and tight. We had the tiles a little bit uneven, so around the back we've got some shims. In the front we got some shims, so the bowl is nice and tight to the floor and fastened correctly. And then we got it caulked back in, so our installation is good, but this is American Standards product, so I apologize if that sounds a little like we're trying to excuse ourselves, but there's nothing we can do to the functionality of the toilet. So what I'm doing is I'm going to flick it like most people. They just like to hit it and then go. You can see how quickly that flapper flopped down. So it did flush, but just keep in mind there's nothing we can do with the adjustment of that. Everything is adjusted correctly outside of that. This installation is done.